Hey guys, it's Janelle and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make quinoa oat breakfast bars 3 different ways. I make these a few times a week. I eat this for breakfast literally every day. They're so good, they're so filling, they're packed full of nutrition, and they have lots of protein from the quinoa and the nut butters and any of the additional nuts or seeds you can add in. The recipes we'll be making are strawberry banana, carrot cake, and apple cinnamon. These breakfast bars are also really great for meal prep because you can either whip them up on a Sunday afternoon and eat them throughout the week. They're enjoyable, warm or cold. And they'd also be a great snack or a healthy dessert option. Yeah, I think you guys would really like them. And on that awkward transition note, let's get started. For the strawberry banana oat bars, you will need 1 cup of cooked quinoa, 1.5 cups of gluten-free quick oats, 1/2 cup each of chopped walnuts and pecans, 1.5 cups of chopped fresh strawberries, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 flax eggs, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 2 tablespoons of nut butter, 1/3 cup of granulated sweetener, and 2 ripe bananas. Start by adding the dry ingredients to a bowl. Oats, quinoa, nuts, cinnamon, baking powder, and the monkfruit sweetener, and a pinch of salt. Mix well. Add your bananas to a bowl and mash well with a fork until they are nice and glistening and shiny. Then add your nut butter and mix well, followed by the flax egg and vanilla extract. Fold the wet ingredients into the dry, mix well, and then add in your fresh chopped strawberries and fold well. Then line a 9 by 9 inch cake pan with parchment paper and pour in the mixture. Level it out with the back of your spoon or a spatula. Bake at 350 degrees for about 35 to 37 minutes. There you go, you have yourself a sweet and crunchy, filling, healthy, nutritious strawberry banana breakfast bar. And on to the carrot cake bars. The ingredients are fairly similar to the previous one, but with a few changes. You will need 1 cup of chopped pecans, 1.5 cups of gluten-free quick oats, 1 cup of cooked quinoa, 2 cups of grated carrot, which is about 4 medium carrots, 1/3 cup of granulated sweetener, 2 flax eggs, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, carrot cake spice blend, see the recipe notes and description for all the spices, 2 tablespoons of nut butter, 1/2 cup of raisins, and 2 ripe bananas. And as with the previous recipe, we're going to start by mixing in all the dry ingredients together in a bowl. Throw in your nuts, quinoa, oats, spices, baking powder, and monkfruit sweetener. And give it all a nice good stir until everything is well incorporated. Oops, I almost forgot my pinch of salt. And then take your bananas, mash them up in a bowl until they're nice and shiny. Add your nut butter, flax eggs, and vanilla extracts, and mix all until well blended. Pour the wet ingredients into the dry and mix well. Add your 2 cups of grated carrot and mix well. Add the mixture to your lined cake pan and flatten out with your spoon. Bake in the oven again for about 35 to 37 minutes at 350 degrees. And there you have it, delicious carrot cake quinoa oat bars. If you really want to get all fancy and make it a nice sweet dessert, whip up a batch of vegan cream cheese frosting and slather that stuff on top. On to the last, but certainly not least, apple cinnamon. To make these bars, you will need 1.5 cups of gluten-free quick oats, 1 cup of cooked quinoa, 1 cup of chopped pecans, 2 flax eggs, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 3 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/3 cup of granulated sweetener, 3 Granny Smith apples, I know I only have 2 pictured, 2 tablespoons of nut butter, and 2 ripe bananas. We're gonna start by chopping up the apples and cooking them down in a pot, just so that they're nice and soft and kind of already pre-cooked before we use them in the recipe. Add in about half of the cinnamon to the pot, and about 1 teaspoon of your granulated sweetener. Give it all a good stir and cook down on medium heat for about 10 or so minutes until they're nice and soft. And I think you are getting the drill. Add in your dry ingredients to a bowl, including the quinoa, oats, nuts, sweetener, cinnamon, baking powder, and am I forgetting anything? Give it all a good stir. And move on to your bananas. Mash them up in a bowl. Add in your nut butter, followed by the flax eggs and your vanilla. Throw in the wet ingredients into the dry, mix them up real good, and then add in your cooked apples. Add in the mixture to your lined cake pan. Flatten out with the back of your spoon. Isn't that like the most satisfying part about this whole video, is just this part. Now this part is optional, but I added some thin apple slices to the top before baking it just to give it a little extra tangy apple kick. And I topped it with some cinnamon. Again, bake in the oven at 350 degrees for about 35 or so minutes. And voila, they should look something like this. Delicious, delicious, delicious apple cinnamon bars. Also, one thing I forgot to suggest, feel free to throw in half a cup of raisins to this recipe. They work really well with the apple cinnamon flavors. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and poke that subscribe button. I will be putting out new videos every week. I'm really hoping to try out some new flavors and put them up on my channel as well. There's just so many combinations you could try with this, so I'm really excited to see what else I can come up with. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I promise you I will get back to you. And if there's any other fruits or veggies or flavor combinations you want me to try out for these breakfast bars next, let me know as well, and I will definitely make them for you. Okay guys, thanks again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!